In the lifestyle mentoring, we're looking at our relationship to sleep, to food, to movement, and to mindfulness. We look at the 4 elements in separate bits, but we also look at how they affect one another. So, sleep is the foundation for everything that we do. If we don't sleep well at night, it'll affect our mood, our energy levels, how we meet the world, how we eat. And still we have such an issue prioritizing it. It's so hard for so many of us to rest when our body says, I need quiet time. As women, because there's such a high focus on how we look, so many of us also have a really strained relationship to food. We use food as a punishment or a reward, so many of us, or we stick to a strict regime that isn't based on trust. So in this lifestyle segment of what I'm offering, what we're doing is we're looking at how to reestablish trust between our minds and the body. And how do we do that? We do that by listening inwards to the needs of the body, and we begin to honor it. And what we usually find is that when we go to bed at nighttime at a decent hour, that'll have a tremendous effect on the day after. And by examining our relationship to food, it can elevate the happiness and the ease and the gentleness that we can have with ourselves and life as a whole. Food is a beautiful thing, and it really needs to be enjoyed, and it really needs to be something that we take in with pleasure, but also with mindfulness. So being very connected as we eat and honoring ourselves through how we feed ourselves is a huge part of this too. How we move, if we prioritize movement or not, is also a huge thing. Many of us are struggling from stress, whether or not we know it, because our bodies has to just respond to a really quick and fast-paced life. So what I've found in working with many people over the years is that so often we do a high intensity training when our body is already stressed, or we will train basically with a focus of a gratification in the mind rather than meeting the body exactly where it is. And understanding that if we have a stressful day at work, the very best thing that we can do for our bodies isn't necessarily to pump it through a very demanding workout. Maybe the best thing we can do for our bodies to create balance is to breathe with it as we move in yoga, or as we are going for a walk and being mindful and little by little calming the nervous system. So it's so important that we start to move our bodies in a way that is in support of the body rather than in a punishment or as a means of feeling good about ourselves from a mind perspective. And mindfulness, it doesn't have to be about meditation. Mindfulness can simply be about how kind are we to ourselves? How do we think about ourselves? What kind of practices do we have for ourselves? What are our daily habits that we can turn into little rituals? And also, what things should we just leave out? What things shouldn't we do because they stress us out more than they nourish us? So in this lifestyle piece that I'm offering, we bring all of these aspects together to create a more harmonious and to create a more balanced life for ourselves, where we're simply supporting everything that life demands of us, and we're supporting our bodies to live in the most well, in a way where we thrive.